Hey guys, welcome back. So video number 2. So remember I said you guys have 3 ready, set, goes this week. So this is the second one. So we're going to be looking at 8.4. So with 8.4, we're really looking at a lot of vertical translations, and so making observations about rates of change and distance traveled. But it's going to be a lot of vertical translations in here. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. Like I said, this is 8.4. All right, so the first one we're going to look at together is number 2. So on number 2, and for all of these first 4, we're doing vertical transformations, just like it says. So on number 2, we're going to use the graph below to draw a new graph that is translated down 1 unit. So what that means is, I'm going to make my point just a little bigger, I think. Hopefully that's not too big. Perfect. So from each of these points, we're going to go down 1, and we're going to make a new point for every single one. So this one's just a little bit below that one. So this one will be just a little bit below there. This one's about halfway between, so that would be about down 1. That one's a little high. Hang on. It'd be right about there. This one is close to the line, so it'll be up there. This one will be right there. So hopefully this should be fairly easy. You're just translating it however much it tells you to do so. So with this one, we were just taking and moving it down 1. On number 1, you're going up 3, so be careful of which direction you're going. Don't let that get you confused. Okay. And then you're just going to take and do exactly what it tells you. So on this one, we went down 1 unit. So this one's just going to be a bunch of points because the original graph was a bunch of points. On this first one, you're going to go up 3 units, and you are going to fill in the lines. So it should look just like this, but you're going to go up 1, 2, 3 units. So this point down here is now going to be up right here. And same with the rest of them. You're going to go up the 3 units. So then looking at number 3, it's telling you to go down 4 units. So your center point, you're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. Down your 4 units. Do that with each of these values. Draw in the lines of the absolute value function. And then same thing with this one. You're going down 3 units. So from each one of these points, you're going to go down 3. So down 1, 2, 3. There's one of your points right there. Do that with every single one of these dark points on here, and then make sure you have all those lines drawn. So it should look just like this, but it's going to be either shifted down or shifted up, depending on what it tells you in the directions. All right? Okay. The next section. So this hopefully will be fairly easy. So like I said, this is a lot about vertical translations. Vertical transformations, and vertical transformations are your key word for this. So vertical transformations. All right, this next section here, you have been given the equations of f of x and the transformation g of x equals f of x plus k. So this is just telling you the form that the equation's in. You're going to graph both f of x and g of x, and then write the linear equation for g of x in the space provided. So we're going to write that right here. Now, for number 5, so that's the first one we're going to look at together, it says that f of x equals 2x minus 4. So first thing we're going to do is start by graphing the f of x function. So our y-intercept is the negative 4. So we come to the y-axis, and we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. And we make our point right there. So there's our y-intercept. Now, our slope is a positive 2x. So that means from our negative 4, we're going to go up 1, 2, and over 1, and make a point. And then go up 1, 2, over 1, make a point. And we're going to keep doing that till we get our whole line drawn out. Up 2, over 1. Come back here, go down 2, and to the left 1. So there is our line. Now, you guys please draw the line in. I'm not going to try and draw a line through these points because mine will probably end up all curvy and crazy looking, being as I'm on the computer. But you guys can take and go ahead and draw your line in to connect those points. Now, for g of x, it's saying that it's f of x, and then we're going to add 3. So just like what we were doing on the previous, we're going to take and shift this up. So we're going to do a vertical transformation, keyword, and move this up 3. So our y-intercept, instead of being at -4, is going to be up 1, 2, 3 at -1. So there's our new y-intercept. This point here is going to be up 1, 2, 3. Now, these lines will be parallel. So that's a key thing with these. You should have parallel lines, which means the slope is going to be the 2x. So we can go back to doing just the up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, down 2 to the left 1, down 2 to the left 1. So the pink line here, the pinky purple line, that is our g of x. And the blue line is our f of x. So g of x, just to mark that. So down here, we want to write the actual equation for this. So like I said, because we're just doing a translation, a vertical transformation or vertical translation up 3, our slopes are the same. So we're going to have a 2x to represent our slope. And then where's our y-intercept? Well, the original y-intercept was at -4 and we went up 3. So now we're at -1. There's our equation. So you're going to do the exact same thing on number 6. You're going to graph out your f of x. So 0.5x, for those of you who are probably going to wonder how to do that, think of it instead as a 1/2 x. And then remember, you go up 1 and over 2. That'll make it a lot easier than trying to just go up 1/2 and over 1. So do up 1 over 2. It'll be much, much easier. And then for the g of x, you're going to take what your f of x is, and you're going to go down 3 from it. And then you'll write out your equation. And your slope on this equation down here is going to be the same as your slope on the f of x. So keep that in mind as you're doing these. All right. The next two, so based on the given graph, write the equation of g of x in the form of g of x equals f of x plus k. Then simplify the equation of g of x into slope-intercept form. The equations of f of x is given. So we have our f of x right here. What you guys get to do now is you're going to write the translation form, and then you're going to write the new equation in slope-intercept form. Guess what? You get to pick the translation form, so you get to decide how it moves and how it changes. So there will be some room for different answers on these, but your f of x will stay the same, so you can't change your slope at all. I repeat, you can't change the slope. So you're going to start by graphing out the f of x. So I'm going to switch back to blue since I was using blue for f of x up above. So we have a 1/4 slope, and our y-intercept is at -3. So we're going to do down 3. So 1, 2, 3. There's our y-intercept. Then for our slope, we're going to go up 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll go back to our y-intercept and go down 1, and then to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, once again, draw a line through those points for me, please. That way we can see what that looks like. I'm going to attempt it. Not half bad. So yours should look something like that. Make sure you have it through those points. So this is my f of x. Now we need to take and do a g of x. Well, once again, you have room for interpretation here. You can choose what the translation form is. So I'm going to say f of x plus 4. So I'm going to add 4 to mine. You could subtract 4, you could subtract 2, you could subtract 1, you could add 1. That's entirely up to you. But what I'm doing is f of x plus 4. It has to be in this form, though, on A. So same thing on number 8. It'll have to be in this form. So from here, I'm going to add 4 to my y-intercept. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, my slope stays the exact same. So that means it's a 1-4 slope. So up 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4. Down 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. So here's my g of x. I'll attempt to draw the line between them. All right, so there's our two equations graphed out. So make sure you have both of these graphed. Each one of these lines is going to be worth a point on the assignment, so make sure you get those both graphed. Now, for part B, we need to write this in slope-intercept form. Well, what's our slope? It stayed the 1/4. That didn't change. So 1/4 x. And then in mine, because I went up 4, I'm at a positive 1. So depending on what you guys choose for your translation, yours might be different than mine. So keep that in mind. But the slope, the 1/4 x, that will be the same. If you have something different for the slope, guess what? It's wrong. The slope has to stay the same in order for this to be a translation. And remember, it's a vertical transformation, and vertical transformation is our key word. So vertical transformation. All right, so make sure you have both of those lines drawn and you answer both of these. The bottom one being slope-intercept form, the top one being in translation form. Okay, and the last question on here is looking at this set of data, and you guys are going to take and answer the question based on this information, whether or not you think that Fernando and Mariah are prepared for the event. So looking at the different amount of time that they raced for, so how long it took them each day to do the number of laps that they did, how many laps they did. Using all this information, you're going to take and determine whether or not you think that they're prepared for the half marathon they've been training for. So look at this information, find something to help prove whether you think they are or think they aren't. So use your best judgment on that. I want to see what your answers are, but make sure you give me an example of why you think it's either yes or no. Don't just say yes or no, okay? All right. That is all for this lesson. So a fairly hopefully easy lesson for you guys. It's all about those vertical transformations. So remember, keyword is vertical transformation. The first section, that should be fairly easy. You're just following the exact graph that's there, and you're either moving it up or you're moving it down, however much it tells you. 5 through 8, it's drawing the graph that's given, and then the first two, you're using the transformation given and writing the new equation. And the second two, you have to come up with that vertical transformation and then write the equation. And make sure you graph out all the lines. They are worth points. All right, good luck. Hope all goes well. If you have questions, as always, feel free to contact me. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Happy mathing.